what sets literature apart from all the other arts, what makes it distinctive, not better, but distinctive. And more appealing to my particular brand of curiosity is that it gives an extended peek into the minds of others. We can see the world through the eyes of those who, in consequential ways, are different from us. And that can be disconcerting if we don't share values. But such insight also contributes to the kind of knowledge that I hold above all other kinds of knowledge. What makes the human animal tick? Ali and Nino, A Love Story by Kurban Said, we will get to him later, is illuminating for the Western reader because it allows him or her to understand from the perspective of a fundamentalist Muslim how a fundamentalist Muslim thinks. And it's done without bias, either for or against. That's what makes it art, in my opinion. It's just thrown out there for us to take in and to be moved by. Because for all of the jarring differences between myself and the sometimes fanatical characters depicted in Ali and Nino, there are still things that I have in common with them, and so I feel for them. Let me describe to you the story of Ali and Nino first, and then I will point out some of the moments that took my breath away for how Kurban Said, or rather the many writers who constitute Kurban Said, as I said, we'll get to him later, how they do not mince words. Ali Khan, the protagonist, is born into a rich and traditional Muslim family in Baku, Azerbaijan, at the start of the 20th century under the sovereignty of Tsarist Russia. He goes to the Imperial Russian High School, where he is the spokesman for the Mohammedan pupils because of, as he puts it, his monkey's instinct for languages and dialects. He considers himself part of the progressive Russification of Baku, which sits on the edge of the Caspian Sea and has been colonized for its abundance of oil. Ali Khan, this Muslim boy, is madly in love with Nino Kipiani, the most beautiful girl in the world, according to him, a Greek Orthodox Christian. The novel is about their courtship and marriage, first at the start of the First World War, when Ali Khan refuses to fight for the Tsarist Russian cause despite his warrior roots, and then after the Tsar abdicates and the chaos of the Russian Revolution erupts when Ali Khan does decide to fight, but now for Azerbaijani independence. The book has a fascinating geopolitical background. The same geopolitical background, by the way, of another Azerbaijani literary masterpiece that I have reviewed on this channel, Days in the Caucasus, a memoir by Banine. Neither book pulls punches. Both are so revealing about traditional but also modern Muslim culture from the inside, one from the perspective of a young Muslim man and one from the perspective of a young Muslim woman, both of whom are under the sway of modern Western culture. But what stands out to me is how unself-consciously honest Ali and Nino is about the fundamentalist Islamic culture that Ali Khan has to fight against in order to take Nino Kipiani, a Christian girl, as his wife. I have collected about a half dozen moments here. When Nino asks Ali uncomfortable questions about his uncle's harem, and when she proclaims that women should be free to go out in public with a naked back and a bosom half uncovered, Khan laments to himself at how all his Eastern decency melted away, and his hand lost itself in her dark hair. Later, he muses about how Nino is pleased whenever other men look at her in the street. She kisses me. I may touch her bosom and caress her thighs, yet we are not even engaged. And then he puts this spin on it. Everybody knows that all Russian women, by which he means all Western women, are mad. Their eyes are too full of yearning. They often betray their husbands, seldom have more than 2 children. That is how God punishes them. When Nino tries to put Ali Khan in his place, reminding him that the harems of the Orient were once filled with captive Christian women, he thinks to himself, I am a Mohammedan. You are a Christian. You were given to us by God as our legitimate prey. It keeps getting worse, I'm telling you. When Ali Khan informs his father that he intends to marry Nino, the old man advises him, do not beat her when she is pregnant. And if you ever need advice and she gives it to you, do the exact opposite. This is not meant to be funny in an absurd or shocking way. Later, Ali Khan goes to seek the blessing of his most devout fundamentalist friend, Sayyid Mustafa, asking him whether Nino should convert to Islam. Mustafa replies, why should she? A creature without soul and intelligence has no faith anyway. Again, Sayyid Mustafa is not portrayed as some kind of dastardly villain, but as Ali Khan's most devoted and attentive friend. After Ali and Nino do get married and are back in Baku, hosting the civil servants and officers of the English occupation troops, one officer compliments Ali on his charming wife, and Ali thinks, a dog of an unbeliever dared to praise openly my wife's beauty. Yet later, that same night, seeing Nino as a hostess sexually excites him. For the first time, we sat down on a bed and I held a European woman in my arms, and it had never been so wonderful before. Actually, it's the bit characters in the book that shed the most light on these extremist views. Perhaps the most famous passage in the book, which compares Eastern culture to Western culture, comes from an old Georgian at a dinner party. Check this out. Woodmen and desert men. The Orient's dry intoxication comes from the desert, where hot wind and hot sand make men drunk, where the world is simple and without problems. The woods are full of questions. Only the desert does not ask, does not give, and does not promise anything. But the fire of the soul comes from the wood. The desert man has but one face and knows but one truth, and that truth fulfills him. The woodsman has many faces. The fanatic comes from the desert, the creator from the woods. Maybe that is the main difference between East and West. Look, I don't know if I believe that, but it is very provocative. It is food for thought. Later, and most disconcerting of all, when Ali Khan has to leave Baku, Azerbaijan, because he's murdered a man who has betrayed him, he is in the remote Caucasian hills and he runs into this random farmer who tells him about the abreks. At midnight, the abrek creeps into the mosque and swears, by this holy place that I venerate, I swear that from today on I will be an outcast. I will shed human blood and have pity for no one. I will wage war on everybody. I swear to rob people of everything dear to their hearts, their conscience, and their honor. I will stab the child on his mother's breast, put fire to the poorest beggar's hut, and bring sorrow to all places where men rejoice. If I do not fulfill this oath, if love or pity ever creep into my heart, may I never see my father's grave again. May water never quench my thirst nor bread my hunger. May my body be cast on the road and a dirty dog relieve himself on it. After Ali Khan hears these dark words, he asks the farmer, astonished, who swears this oath? Now keep in mind that this is an oath made in a mosque. And the farmer replies, men who have suffered much injustice. And as a modern day reader, I could not help but think about the Iran-backed militias and all the evil they've sowed in recent times. The book is eye-opening. In this video, I have chosen to focus on just one aspect, its portrayal of fundamentalist Muslim culture. In the video description, I will include a link to an article that I wrote on Ali and Nino for the Republic of Letters. In that article, I take the book on from many angles. Among them, its multiple authorship. In a nutshell, Ali and Nino was first published in German in Vienna in 1937 with the name Kurban Said on the cover. Kurban Said was the pseudonym for Isad Bey. Isad Bey was a name taken on by Lev Nussenbaum, a Jew born in Kiev, after he apparently converted to Islam while living in Baku as a boy. He later admitted that the manuscript to Ali and Nino was passed to him through various literary connections from Yusuf Vazir Chaman Zaminli, a cradle Muslim born and raised in Baku, Azerbaijan, in circumstances very similar to Ali Khan's, who later became a government official for independent Azerbaijan and who hated the Bolsheviks. If that is not enough of a mix, Lev Nussenbaum has been accused of lifting portions of Ali and Khan from a Georgian travel writer, portions about Persia and about the Caucasian highlands. Also, the German author, Baroness Elfriede Ehrenfels, is suspected to have a hand in polishing the book. And the version I read, and almost everyone has read, is or is based on the English translation by Genya Grauman. Grauman's translation was the basis for the translation of Ali and Nino to 33 other languages. Basically, 3 men and 2 women, representing Muslims, Christians, and Jews, have had, for reasons noble and not, a hand in the genius behind Ali and Nino. And I do not use the word genius lightly. It is one of my all-time favorite books. A great love story steeped in religion and geopolitics, like The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, or War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. The love story takes on added power and meaning because of the fraught time that it's set in. And it's a short novel, only 240 pages, a literary potboiler. If you are still on the fence and you want to know more about the book, you know where to look, the video description. Thank you for watching, good people. A quick reminder, to support the cause, you can always like, comment, or follow, or if my passion and insights about literature make you curious about my own attempts at it, there is always My Half Orange, a story of love and language in Seville, published by Tortoise Books in 2023, about the 10 most transformative years of my life when I moved from New York City to Seville, Spain in 2005, met a local woman, and started a family with her without hardly speaking Spanish. I plan to soon upload an audio version to Substack, Rants from a Foreign Land, John Julius Reel. Follow me there to receive all my updates by email. Thanks, good people.